You were in Punjab a couple of days back, and also in Punjab is Mr. Arvind Kejriwal doing a campaign there. I want to ask you about Mr. Kejriwal. He is mentioning that if the opposition alliance wins on June 4th, he will not return to jail. And he's also saying that this is Modi government which brought in such strict provisions in PMLA that he is not, the courts are not able to give bail to him. What are your thoughts on?
First of all, in all his narration, thinking that his politicizing this whole legal process is going to benefit him is very short-sighted, one. And second, I think it is a complete insult to the judiciary, which, to be fair to him, gave him the opportunity to come out on bail, and on the question of level playing field, you go and campaign if you want, but was clear enough to say you come back on 2nd June. Campaign ends on 30th evening.
Yes.
Today evening. Campaign is done today. The court could have said come back this evening, but they still said all right, you come back on 2nd after the polling. Now, repeatedly saying and appealing to the people that if you press the button in favor of Jadoo, I will stay out of the jail, I will not need to go to the jail. What does that mean? Is he trying to say that the courts are doing politics? That courts are going on the basis of votes which are coming? Is he trying to influence the people by saying there's just nothing about judiciary, it's all political? It's such a gross insult to the courts, and I honestly think the courts should take cognizance of this, one. And second, he is underestimating the people of India. Exactly the kind of thing which Mrs. Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, did when Allahabad High Court went against her. Judiciary, we need committed judiciary. These are not people who can give justice and everything else. You know what happened to that. So, for a chief minister who came into power in the name of eradicating corruption, today to petty bargain with the people or with the courts, saying, look, forget all this, I want my freedom, I want my political liberties, but I'm not answerable for questions of serious nature being asked of him. And eventually, on the point that if PMLA, such regulations have been tightened and therefore he is not able to get bail, wasn't he the one who said, sakt se sakt kanun hona chahiye to punish people? He said he had a sack full of evidence against Mrs. Sheila Dikshit, a much respected Delhi chief minister. Where are those evidences? And didn't he use this expression, saying, sabko sab jail bhijwaunga? सबको सब जेल भिजवाने के लिए आपके पास जो कानून था तब, उससे सख्त हो गया है क्या? तब भी आप भी बात कर रहे थे जी जेल ही जाना है. You are there now. Instead of introspecting on what had happened in such a way that even the courts today are not able to give you bail, for him to go on building this false narrative just clearly tells me that he either doesn't believe in the intelligence of the people or he believes in manipulating them, both of which are absolutely condemnable. You can't think that you can manipulate people always by giving your narrative. And you certainly cannot underestimate people because they make their choices. And to play up like this just shows how ruthless, dirty politics he plays.
The one thing that binds Arvind Kejriwal, the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress together is their love for freebies. Now you come in from Karnataka, we've seen the state of affairs in Karnataka. Now the Congress and their parties, they want to actually promise 1 lakh rupees to women in a year. Do you think these kind of promises are fulfillable?
First of all, even as they are saying it, they are not putting forth to you as to where that money is going to come from. Even if they don't say it, they are not even saying to how many such women are they going to give this 1 lakh. The point is, unless you tell the whole story, people of India are not going to understand what implication it will have on your budget. And this is just a baseless kind of offer, a tempting kind of a, put a bait out so that people will fall for it, because common people are not going to spend time thinking, does he have the money for it? he said it and said it in public, so we need to believe will be the route in which sometimes women fall for it or people fall for it. Because they think people in public life are honorable people. I will not blame the common citizen of India, but if you're not bothered about keeping your honor up and you give a promise which you can't fulfill, just shows how shameless and thinking that they can game the system and win.
Because ma'am, the opposition also, to counter that, says even the Modi government is giving free rations till 2029 to nearly 80 crore people in the country. The opposition also says, is that not a freebie?
It's certainly not a freebie. We are accounting for it in the budget. We are stating this is the number of people who will get it, this is the cost of it, and we do not want the state governments to bear any one paisa for it. We are not burdening the state governments with a scheme which Prime Minister strongly believes in, because he doesn't want the poor to suffer without food grains being available to them. But that promise, he is not shifting the blame onto the states or responsibility onto the states. He is not even asking them to lift it from FCI Godon, giving truck charges over fuel to the trucks or driver's salary. Entire expenditure is borne by us. Now, if that is the way you do, with budget being clearly allocation made in the budget, and with that allocation you are able to run it, go to the assembly, show it, like we go to the parliament and show it. No, but what they do is give the promise, start sort of implementing it, and realize they don't have the money for it, and then keep blaming Prime Minister Modi, saying, you're not giving me money, I'm not able to implement it. Did you discuss with us and say, no, I'm going to implement this? You got the vote, you implement it, you perform. That's the difference between what Prime Minister Modi, in the name of the food grain, is giving and fully budgeting for it.
Yes.
You've spoken